so much for returning back to my channel. I'm Shelby the Gemini, and this is our Zodiac forecast reading for the week of September 29th. I'm really excited to jump into this one. I also have another really just super exciting announcement. I will be starting a podcast all about all of my little witchy things. It's called You Say Witch Like It's a Bad Thing. This will be starting on October 13th. I will have more details as we get closer to that, so I'm excited to kind of be running on both platforms so you guys get to know me. So again, this is just a general reading for each of the collective sun signs for the zodiacs. May not resonate with everybody, but it may resonate with some. If it doesn't resonate with you this week, feel free to just keep jumping back in because I'm sure we'll have a message for you soon, and let's dive right in. Alright, this one is for my Aries. This week we pulled the Six of Cups reversed. We pulled the Five of Pentacles. And we pulled the Five of Wands. Now when I'm looking at these, the Six of Cups reversed essentially represents that you are looking through life through rose-colored glasses, and that there may be some type of childhood trauma that has not been completely resolved yet. As we look at the Five of Pentacles, this card usually represents loss and abandonment. So that you may have experienced something as a child where you did feel abandoned, and it made you, as we look at the Five of Wands, this represents competitiveness, competition, and rivalry. Essentially, what I'm seeing here is that there may be this childhood trauma where you felt abandoned, and now you have this competitive nature and this competitive spirit about you, and you feel like you have to win so that other people will like you. When I look at these cards, essentially the message that I'm seeing is that you don't have to win to be loved. Nothing has to always be a competition. Not everything has to be a competition. Competitions can be fun. They can be fun, but not everything has to be a competition, and you don't always have to win. People love you as you are. So definitely just kind of keep an eye out for those types of energies this week. Look out for that possible childhood trauma that you were feeling, and it'll help propel you a little bit more forward. Alright, this one is for my Taurus. We have the Seven of Wands reversed. We have the Queen of Wands. And we have the Nine of Wands reversed. Now, when we look at the Seven of Wands reversed, this card's actually kind of really dope. It's really cool looking. But it essentially represents feeling overwhelmed and kind of like you're losing control or you're losing power. The Nine of Wands reversed also has a similar representation. It typically means that you're feeling a little bit claustrophobic in where you're at. You're feeling a little bit closed in. Again, like you're losing that type of power. You don't have as much control. As we look at the Queen of Wands, she represents your feminine power. She represents accepting the divine feminine. So as I'm looking at these cards, the messages that I'm hearing that you need to feed that feminine power. Everybody has a divine feminine and a divine masculine, and it's really easy to push that divine feminine down because we live in a day and age where it's kind of dog-eat-dog world. So you kind of have to be that masculine, assertive, dominant force in the world, and people tend to forget about the softer side of themselves. And that leads us to being claustrophobic and overwhelmed and losing power and just kind of all around in our heads. So definitely connect with that divine feminine this week. Feed that feminine fire, and you'll start to kind of feel more comfortable and more at ease with who you are and where you are in your space. Alright, this one is for my Geminis. We pulled the Princess of Swords. We pulled the Two of Swords. We pulled the Princess of Pentacles. And we pulled the Princess of Wands reversed. Lots and lots of princesses in this reading. Now the Princess of Swords, this is a really cool one too. It essentially represents putting your ideas into action, being lively and just living. Actually truly living. As we look at the Two of Swords, this represents indecision and stillness. When we look at the Princess of Pentacles, she represents grounding. She's grounding you so that you can see the path that you need to take to be able to achieve your dreams. And as we look at the Princess of Wands, she represents allowing yourself the freedom to fail and using that failure as a learning experience to continue to grow. So what I'm getting collectively from these cards is that it's time for you to really go all in. Chase after your dreams in every way that you can. Every idea that you have, put it into action, as the Princess of Swords had told us. The stillness and the indecision and the going back and forth that we saw in the Two of Swords is what's hindering your progress. You cannot debate on whether or not it's going to be a good idea forever. You have to just go all in, jump all in, and risk it all. And then as we have the, again, Princess of Pentacles, she will ground you and she will show you the way. She will highlight your path that you need to take as long as you do stay grounded. And again, with the Princess of Wands reversed, remember that it's okay to not get it right the first time. It's okay to fail, because that then becomes a learning experience so that you can make it so much better in the future. So don't be so afraid, don't be so indecisive that you don't do anything, because everything is aligning almost perfectly to where your dreams are going to kick right into gear. And so it's time to jump in and just use that energy to your advantage. All right, Cancer, this week we pulled the Knight of Wands reversed, and we pulled the Eight of Wands reversed. Now, the Knight of Wands reversed, this represents impatience and recklessness, and the Eight of Wands reversed represents also impatience and avoidable mistakes. So what I'm seeing when I'm looking at these cards together means that this week you're going to be feeling a lot of impatience, and you're going to be feeling very rushed. You're going to be feeling a little bit reckless. You're going to be going through things really quick, and you may be making mistakes that are completely avoidable if you would just slow down. So when I look at these cards together, the message that I'm receiving from these for you is that this week you do need to focus on slowing down and taking your time and just paying attention to detail, and it will get you exactly where you need to go on the course of action that you're taking. All right, this one is for my Leos. We pulled the Ten of Wands. We pulled the King of Wands reverse, lots of wands this reading, and we pulled the Nine of Cups. Now, as we look at the Ten of Wands, this represents duty and responsibility and obligations. The King of Wands represents a dictator type attitude, just a very domineering type of personality. And then as we look at the Knight of Cups, this is a very good card for you. This essentially represents that love is coming your way and that you need to accept the love that is coming. But going back through the reading, the message as a whole that I'm receiving from these cards is, it is your duty and your responsibility to release this dictator and domineering type energy that you have about you and that you've had recently, so that you're able to make space to be able to accept the love that is on its way to you. So work on yourself, become the best partner that you can for this person that is about to enter your life. It is your duty and it is your responsibility to treat them exactly how they deserve, the way that they're going to treat you exactly how you deserve. All right, this one's for my Virgos. We have the Two of Wands reversed. We have the Nine of Pentacles. And we have the Five of Swords reversed. Now, the Two of Wands reversed essentially represents doubt and limitations and your comfort zone. The Nine of Pentacles represents being materialistic and having the best of the best. And the Five of Swords essentially represents it's time to forgive and forget. So what I'm seeing when I look at these cards together is you are doubting yourself a little bit. You're stepping out of your comfort zone into something new, and you may be running into people that are very materialistic and think that they're the best of the best, which may be causing some type of conflict in your life. However, our Five of Swords reversed represents that it's time to release the conflict, to not continue to propel the conflict, and forgive and forget so that you are able to move yourself forward. Their ego has nothing to do with you unless you are participating also in your ego, and that's going to drag you down. So forgive, forget, release the conflict, and move on. All right, this one is for my Libras. We have the Nine of Swords, and we have the Princess of Cups. Now, the Nine of Swords represents anxiety, worry, fear, distress, all of that kind of just negative emotions. And then we have the Princess of Cups, which represents flow and synchronicities and mystic messages. So when I'm looking at these cards together, essentially what I'm seeing is this week you will be finding yourself in a state of anxiety, a state of worry. You're just going to be kind of getting too far into your head and kind of swirling with these negative emotions. Maybe some big changes or something like that is happening in your life right now, and it's causing you to be anxious and stressed. But as we look at the Princess of Cups, she's telling you that the synchronicities are going to be flowing into your life this week. It's Libra season. This is your season. There's a whole bunch of mystic messages that are coming. The universe and your guides and the goddesses or whatever it is that you believe in is trying to get in touch with you. They're trying to connect with you this week. And if you are too wrapped up in your head, you're not going to hear these slight, subtle messages that they are sending you. So try and calm your mind. Put yourself in a state of mindfulness, because in this moment right now, nothing is going wrong. Nothing is hurting you. Everything is going to be just fine, and you'll start to hear those messages. You'll start to receive those messages from the universe, and you'll start to find that guided direction that you've been looking for. This one is for my Scorpios. We have the Hierophant reversed, and we have the Eight of Swords. This is still one of the coolest looking cards, I think. Now, as we look at the Hierophant reversed, this essentially represents rebellion and confinement. And then as we look at the Eight of Swords, this represents limiting perspectives and also confinement and restrictions. When I look at these cards together, the message that I'm getting is you have limited yourself to one perspective or just a couple perspectives. You aren't seeing things from other people's point of view. You've restricted yourself and you've confined yourself. And as we look at the Hierophant reversed, this is telling you that it's time for you to be a rebel in a world that you created for yourself. It's time for you to break free of the chains of confinement that you created through only looking through one specific perspective. So open your gaze, open your mind, be the rebel in your world, and change your entire perspective so that you can grow and continue to move forward with your life. All right, this one is for my Sagittarius babies. We have the Four of Wands reversed. We have the Sun card reversed. And we have the Nine of Cups. Such a pretty card too. Now, as we look at the Four of Wands reversed, this card represents that there's a slight instability in your foundation or your home life, so your supporting circle, your family, your friends. And there may be some instability or some wiggle there that you're not feeling too confident about. We have the Sun reversed that represents some hardships or setbacks that you have seen. Things are seeming very cloudy right now, which is funny because the sky in Utah is entirely covered. There's no blue, no sun, nothing. But things are seeming just very cloudy for you right now, very bleak, and it's very hard for you to stay positive in this situation. However, as we look at the Nine of Cups, this represents wishes are coming true and there is fulfillment coming into your life. So looking at these cards together, it's telling me that you need to keep your head high, because everything that has happened, everything that has become a setback, everything that has clouded your vision and made it hard to stay positive, and all of this instability that you're feeling, it's all for a reason, and you have to go through this process, because once you reach the finish line, once you reach that end of the tunnel, once you can see the light, all of these wishes are going to start fulfilling themselves to you. Everything that you have been praying for and begging for and asking the universe for, it's on its way to you. So just keep pushing, keep your head up high, because everything that you've been needing is on its way and it'll be here shortly. All right, this one is for my Capricorns. We pulled the Fool and we pulled the Three of Pentacles. As we look at the Fool card, this represents new beginnings, more specifically maybe in the springtime. However, it's a new journey for you. You're starting on this new path. You're starting to kind of go after everything that it is that you actually want. And then as we look at the Three of Pentacles, this represents that collaborating with like-minded people is going to be able to propel you forward so that your dreams are actually starting to manifest and get somewhere. So instead of isolating yourself, as we've seen in a lot of the readings past, definitely surround yourself with people that have a very similar mindset, who have very similar dreams to yours, and you'll propel yourself forward. You'll start on a path, on this new amazing path that you did not know that you had inside of you, and as you do that, you'll start to find more spiritual fulfillment and purpose within your life, because this is your calling. This is you. This is for you. So definitely go after it and don't brush this off. All right, this one is for Aquarius. We have the Four of Cups and we have the Ace of Swords. Now, the Four of Cups essentially represents that you are content with your life, but you're starting to get a little bit bored, which we've seen in other readings past for you as well. The Ace of Swords represents pure mental power and this breakthrough. So what I'm hearing when I look at these cards together is that you need to listen to yourself, because this breakthrough is coming strictly from you, and you alone are going to figure out exactly what you need to do to be able to hit that next level of your dream, to be able to continue onward with your success. That breakthrough is coming this week, so really keep an eye out and listen to yourself, because you are the ones that will have the answer. All right, this one is for my Pisces. We have the Three of Wands and we have the Five of Cups. It's an interesting card too. Now, the Three of Wands essentially represents progression. So you can progress onward. It's persistence and progression. So you're just going to continue to keep going. I know we've just gone through this entire spiritual journey. You've discovered so much about yourself. So many changes are happening right now, but persistence and progression is everything. As we look at the Five of Cups, this essentially represents setback and perspective. So you may be seeing some type of setbacks that are going to help alter your perspective to see things from different points of view this week. However, again, progression. Just keep persisting and progressing, because when I look at these cards together, what I'm hearing for you is that even a little progress is better than no progress. So even though you might be finding yourself in setbacks and in unfortunate events that may not be the most ideal situation for you, it's still pushing you forward a little bit at a time. Little progress is still better than no progress. So just keep going, and things are going to start looking a little bit better as we get farther into this month. I'll tell you what, but just keep your head up and just keep progressing. All right, everybody, so that is everything I have for this reading this week. I'm really excited about this whole podcasting thing that's going to be happening. Again, it's called You Say Witch Like It's a Bad Thing, and it's going to be everything dedicated solely to all of my witchcraft, all of the questions that I receive quite frequently. It's going to be starting October 13th is the launch date, so get excited, because I'm super excited and I can't wait to see you all there. We'll see you all next week, and have a lovely, blessed week.